What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad, Sean, and today, reactions to the classics. We got a full album reaction to Norah Jones and her new record from this year, Pick Me Up Off the Floor. This comes courtesy of suggestion from our patron, longtime supporter, our guy, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Always looking forward to what Josh brings us. I know, Josh, you're a big Norah Jones fan. You've done a lot of her tracks on the live streams that we do every Friday, which I enjoy pretty much all of them from her that you bring to us. So I'm curious to see what we got here since this only released a couple months ago.
Yeah, exactly. Only 2 months ago at the time I was filming this, June of 2020. Debuted at 87 on the U.S. albums chart, making it her first album not to debut in the top three. And the research that I just said it was a departure from her lounge leanings of the past. It's primarily jazz pop, orchestral pop, blues, and a jazz folk record with elements of gospel, soul, country, funk, and hip hop. I think, Trey, they could have just said it's pretty much everything.
Pretty much, yeah, a little blender of every genre.
It's well thought of by critics. 83 out of 100 on Metacritic. Metacritic just takes everybody's ratings and puts them into one grade, so 83 is incredibly high. And then, rather than set out to record an album, Norah initially cobbled together a series of studio sessions as one-offs, expecting to come up with a few songs to round out the 2019 singles collection, Begin Again. Even after releasing those songs, she found herself sitting with a surplus of material, which is this. It's incredibly rare for leftovers to comprise a cohesive album, but Pick Me Up Off the Floor does just that, according to the critics. And lastly, just a little bit about Norah. She's won multiple awards, sold more than 50 million records worldwide. Billboard named her the top jazz artist of the 2000s decade. She's won 9 Grammys and ranked 60th on Billboard's magazine Artist of the 2000s decade. I'm familiar with all her earlier stuff, earlier stuff. She's been around a long time. Don't know anything off this album or anything in the last decade, probably.
No, yeah, and I mean, being the daughter of Ravi Shankar, she was able to put the musical legacy, the family name to good use, man. She's carved out a great career for herself, so I'm looking forward to diving into this one. And
me as well.
Before we get started, y'all, if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit that big red subscribe button as well. We upload every single day in a variety of genres, so there's going to be something for everybody here. I am sure of it. And then if you'd like to link up with us more, you can hit up all our social media down below. Got a great Facebook group, especially that our guy Josh is even a part of.
Big time part of.
If you want us to even maybe react to a song or an album like Josh's, you can check out our Patreon page where you can have your voice heard. So all that to say, we're going to have the lyrics pulled up, man. We're going to start with this first tune, How I Weep. Don't know, I'm only expecting what you kind of said with the blending of genres. Man. So let's see what we got here. And also, the music will not be up on YouTube, but we're going to have a link to Vimeo, which will have all the music included just due to copyright purposes. So let's get to it. Strong opener, in my opinion. I like this one more the longer it went on.
I did too, I agree. And you said at the start of this, but for people who aren't watching it with the music, you can tell her voice the second she comes on. I mean, so smooth. The lyricism's fantastic. The musicianship is fantastic. Just masters at their craft, all the way around on this one.
Love the strings in this one, and with that jumpy piano, the dun dun, just a cool interplay there, and just the lyricism as well. I think really speaks to the fact that something a lot of people relate to, how they may look good on the outside. She mentions, and I march and I dance and I sing and I laugh. And I laugh and I laugh, but inside I weep, and I weep for a loss that's so deep that it hardens and turns into stone. So one of those things, where like the longer you hold on to a grief or a loss or something that was bringing you down, the tougher it is, the longer it stays there. It, as she mentions, hardens into stone, almost stays.
It becomes part of you.
Stays with you, yeah. So and then she further talked about this. She kind of brought in the stars and the earth, and how that's taunting her. And then she talks about how her loss tries to be sorry, tries to be sweet. And then she stands there and wonders, when will I be free? Then I realize I held it, it never held me.
Yeah, I thought that was a great line, great wordplay.
It had to hurt me to finally be gone because I made the mistake of dragging it on. I just thought that was a very poetic way Norah put that in there of holding on to that loss instead of letting it go. But that's easier said than done, man. So
yeah, it is.
Strong opener here. on this record. Really enjoyed that. Now we're going to move to the second track, Flame Twin.
And I don't have my usual amount of research on this. It's new, and there wasn't a lot out on this. A lot of times on new releases, you get a ton of stuff, but we live in a different world right now. A lot of people on quarantine, people not doing their promotional tours and that kind of stuff. So nothing on it, so we'll figure it out as we listen to it.
All right, Flame Twin. Norah adding a little harder edge on this one. What you think of this?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought, the thing that she's so good at is pacing. She never gets in a hurry, but it draws you in. Like, what is she going to say next? And I mean, my take on this song is basically they're not good for each other, but they are so attracted to each other.
That flames,
but
imagery kind of brings that
but
together.
But it's not good. She has I'm the runner, you are the chaser. My twin in flames to me. I am the lost. You can't be found. So then you're like, well, wait a minute. Like, where is he running? Is she running? I have a name. You call me by none. There's a lot of good wordplay here.
Oh, definitely. Then she says, but my twin, I'm on fire. Don't string me along. Wake you from slumber. You fall so hard. Twin, we're in flames. We've gone too far. Yeah. So kind of that concept of either being in love or maybe just in general, just a person not that great. You're a little combustible with each other.
Yeah, but oftentimes those are the hardest relationships for people to break.
Right,
they keep getting drawn back and go never again, and then again and again, and and then you end up singing what you did in the first song, right?
Yeah,
we're good on the outside. I'm weeping on the inside.
And I thought that the instrumentation here was very strong as well, with the organ in there, and then that electric guitar comes in. And verse 3, I believe, was the first time it came in
to take that emotion up a little bit. She draws you in, and then the instrumentation actually rides the emotion up. Work perfectly.
And then the synthesizer coming in just a little bit at the end. Just a lot of stuff going on, but it was very well produced. Another very strong tune here on this record. I'm enjoying this so far. Now we're going to song number 3, Hurts to Be Alone.
Sounds like it fits right in with...
I was about to say, no light subject matter from Norah in these first 3, probably. So then I see song 4 is Heartbroken Day.
It does all fit together, even though it wasn't recorded together.
No, you're right. So let's see what Norah's got in store here. Really dug the drums, especially on that one. The just again a great blending of the percussion with the piano. Again, had the organ and the Hammond organ coming in, especially at the end. Simple, the simplest song lyrically up to this point.
Yet it evolves, yes.
And just that chorus again, just never hurts to be alone, because hey, when you're alone, somebody else can't hurt you, man. Somebody else can't.
But then she changes it in the chorus in the second time around.
That's right, which I thought was interesting. She says, "Then it hurts to be alone."
Yeah, she replaced never with it, so there's a nice little turn in the song.
Because that sometimes we like to be alone, just to kind of be in our own little world. Right. But then sometimes when you're in that, you're like, man, it'd be great if somebody was here. So then it then turns to hurting to be alone.
Right.
And then when you're with somebody, it's like, man, it wouldn't hurt to be alone if I was alone right now. So again, I think she's speaking to these broad topics that a lot of people can relate to.
Agreed. Next up, we have Heartbroken Day After. And I read several reviews of this album in my research, and Variety magazine specifically mentioned this song and said it was the highlight of the album. So,
all right, well, let's keep
something to try to live up to, huh?
Keep the train rolling, man. I like the ending portion, especially where it all kind of climaxed with the find a way out bridge.
Started with the chorus, so it was a little different.
Yeah, exactly. Had the pedal steel guitar, so yet another instrument. The upright bass was more, another thing that really pushed into the jazz element here as well. And again, had those backing vocals like we had on the previous track at a portion of the song here as well. And again, it kind of keeps with the more melancholy themes that this record's going with, which I think Norah's type of music kind of fits that more melancholy type.
I do too. You can just go, I mean, obviously it's the cliche, but it's true. You could go sit in a piano bar, listen to her all night, and it'd be fantastic. I mean, it sets the mood. She can carry that. She's talented enough to do it all by herself, and that's kind of what you get here. You don't need any tricks. No instrumentation has to take the lead, which is all right on some songs. And most of the music we listen to, there are periods in songs where the instrumentation takes the lead. That's great. A lot of talented musicians, but for her, it's really just all about her voice, man.
And I mean, as the song suggests, obviously heartbroken, a breakup, I'm assuming, occurred here. She's telling herself it's going to be okay. Don't look so sad. It's not that bad. Or is it? it might be today. Sometimes we got to sit in that sadness for
a while,
especially if it's the day after, man.
Yeah,
exactly. If she just broke up or whatnot, it's tough to move on in 24 hours or whatnot. So I again, a very broad theme and subject that I think a lot of people can relate to, which is a strength of her music. And now we're going to go to one of the longer tunes on this record.
That's right. I'll tell you what, man, Say No More, right? Nah, wait a minute. That was a bad play on words.
Hey, I like the effort, though.
Say No More. Let's do this.
Probably the heaviest jazz
influence
track.
A little quicker in delivery. A little more edgy, just in her voice, a little more pop to it.
You're right, and
not pop as in pop music.
No, but
power, a little more power.
Yeah, I was feeling you, and I think I was. That was her most impressive piano work on this record, I think, in my opinion, and the way that worked with the sax, the trumpet, just the horns in general. You had the upright bass again in there. Definitely a very jazzy inspired tune.
Agreed, man. I liked it a lot.
And again, kind of piggybacking a little off of the last track, it seems, with a broken down relationship, and again, kind of those voices in her head. It's kind of a theme you've been picking up on in this record, even back to the start on How I Weep, with like her inside.
Yes.
But and then how she's reacting on the outside. All the voices tell me to run, but I know what we had. If I try to escape you, which way should I go? And then she gets a little serious. Take the bullet out of that gun.
Yeah.
I'll bear you my soul. And then if I call you stranger, will you play the part? Even if you disappear, I'll hold you in my heart. Again, those experiences and people that we, live with, I guess, that they're always going to be a part of us, even if those people aren't physically with us anymore, per se.
Yeah, so, I mean, you said, I mean, this is in contention for me for the best one so far, Trey. Now we're going to move on. We're the halfway mark with this song. Mm-hmm. We're to This Life.
This Life, man. It looks like
short.
Yeah, shortest one on the record. So go from one of the longest to one of the shortest. So let's see what we got here. Though it might have been short, man, I thought it was nice and packed a little bit of a punch, man.
I did too. I thought it kind of rewound back a little bit. She really slowed it down, made it powerful, and then I was curious. There's no one officially given backing vocals. Was that herself?
Yeah, I was.
Was that herself in the mixing? Because the backing vocals it sounds so much different, and it was great, like that part.
Well, I like that too. She threw a little something, because we've had a lot of these jazzy type of songs in a row. Up. But then she threw something in here that made this song stand out a little bit compared to the rest of what we heard on this record, man. And those harmonizing vocals were just so pretty to the ear, so sweet, and again, not a lot lyrically here in the amount of words, but even that just kind of gets you in a mood, per se, just where she's saying this life as we know it is over. And then again, kind of that hope, if we find what we lost, God might see us through. Again, just kind of that recognition of what is lost, but still that hope of, oh man, maybe we can pick this up and it can turn out for the better. So I dug that one, man.
Me too.
And now we're gonna go to the next track, To Live. So
maybe it's gonna get more positive.
Yeah, who knows, man? Yeah, maybe the second half will have a little more positive lyricism from Norah here. But got 4.5 minutes, so let's get to it.
Woo.
To Live, man. As I mentioned in the reaction a little bit, definitely a big gospel influence, I think, in this track.
Yeah, much more. I don't want to say upbeat necessarily. I mean, it is, but. Yeah, just a different vibe to it, man. I really dug it.
I think that trumpet kind of drawn out, that saxophone drawn out, also kind of gave it a little more punchiness, I guess. And then the lyrical content itself is really the first kind of more positive, I guess, type song on this record.
She once again started out with the chorus on this one too.
Yeah, to live in this
sets the table.
I do like that. I do like that technique. Kind of gets you just head first into the track. She mentions to live in this moment and finally be free is what I was after. No chains holding me. Even the whole chains imagery.
Right.
You think of old Amazing Grace.
Yes, that's what I was thinking exactly.
And then in the first verse, I like. I want a life in color to breathe outside the lines, to live in this moment, find peace in my mind. A sharp contrast to some of the previous tunes, yet there was still that hope kind of in those songs, but the hope's kind of the forefront, and as opposed to that heartbreak that we've really been going in. And man, just dug this one. I think this will be in my favorite tracks whenever we recap the record at the end here. And now we're going to track number 8. We got I'm Alive, which is said to be a simple and direct a statement of hope as many are capable of in this moment. This was actually co-written by Wilco's Jeff Tweedy, which we actually listened to a Wilco record earlier
he's going to
this
appear
year.
on another one in a little bit as well.
And the song uses a nameless she as a stand-in for Jones herself and women around the world. The line in here, she's crushed by thoughts at night of men who want her rights and usually win, but she's alive. Jones exhales, the trademark smoke in her voice weaving through the piano, Tweedy's on that guitar, and his son Spencer's nimble drumming.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. And then it says he screams, he shouts, the heads on the TV bow. They take the bait, they mirror waves of hate. So, Jones adds a straightforward yet no less affecting summation of the last few years in American politics. So pay close attention to these lyrics.
All right, let's. I'm looking forward to this one. Old Jeff on this. I'm Alive. What were your thoughts on this one?
I like that one as well. Thought the instrumentation brought it a little more upbeat again. I mean, not like crazy upbeat, but more so than some of the earlier tracks. I think it's building a little bit as an album.
Yeah, I think Jeff's guitar with the bluesy play style he was doing
gave it a little different sound.
And it was interesting too because he also played the bass and he also played then the electric and the acoustic guitar.
He figured Trey's in the studio, you might as well get your money's worth out of him.
And bringing his son, hey boy, get on the drums.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, and then of course you have Norah's signature piano as well. And I just think she has a very a bit of an empowering message at times as well, that even, hey man, maybe the world isn't in the shape we want it to be in, but she notes, but she's alive. Oh, she's alive. If you're alive, you still have a chance to make your impact on the world and change things, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
And she mentions here probably a quite personal lyric. Oh, I watch, I think, I dance.
I thought that too.
Sometimes I drink. Hey, there you go, Norah. Yeah, I understand. I sing my songs. I'll hope someone sings along. All these things we do, we take in the outside world and see things we don't like. And what happens a lot of times, especially for creative people like Norah, that comes out through their creative works.
Exactly. They got an outlet for it.
Through their songs, especially a song like this. And then she notes the real reality. If I should break my silent shriek, will knives come out to cut my cheeks, man. Whenever you say something people don't like, especially in today's climate, they'll be coming at you. Especially a gal like Norah, who is so confident, so strong, and bold in what she's saying, man.
Threatening to a lot of people.
Ooh, I dug this one, man. I both lyrically, I thought it was one of the strongest, and instrumentally. And now we're gonna go to the longest track on this record. Were You Watching? So let's get it. Longest track, man. It didn't seem like it was over 5 minutes to me, and
no, and it just like sticks in your head.
Are you? No, I'll be having that going through my head when I try to sleep tonight, man. And I thought the violin just, I don't think we've had that instrument up to this point.
I don't think we have either. If we have, it's been very light in the background.
So bringing that to the forefront, I thought was a cool touch, along with the chorus where you had, it looks like, about 3 people on backing vocals.
Which is different for this album as well.
So I thought the chorus was incredibly strong, incredibly catchy, maybe the most catchy one on this record so far. And I think this is again maybe talking about a relationship where Norah's kind of going off, off the deep, not off the deep end, but she's doing some things that
going a different direction.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like her partner is picking up on that.
Yes, exactly.
And I definitely like the line here, a little self-aware, where she was like, "Were you listening when there was nothing more to say? Were you listening? I sing sad songs anyway." She knows that she's got a little more more sad songs probably in her arsenal
I
and
agree.
catalog than.
But it follows up with that with some good stuff too. Were you hiding when our love was in the deepest danger? Were you watching as we slowly turned into strangers? Because a lot of people, man, when things start to go south in their life, whether it's a relationship or anything else, they just kind of pretend like it's not.
You're right. You're
They just
totally
bury their
right.
head. It's going to go away. It doesn't go away. It just gets a lot worse. And like she's aware of this, and apparently he is not.
So again, bringing a unique little perspective on the whole love and relationship topic, and now we're going to go to the penultimate track, "Stumble on My Way." So let's keep rocking and rolling with Miss Norah Jones. "Stumble on My Way," second to last track here. Little country esque with the pedal steel.
Yeah, you mentioned that during the pedal steel. It's really interesting to hear a pedal steel in this type of music. While
Yeah,
I think in a way, it just our mind takes it the country route when we hear the pedal
you're right.
steel, right? Like
Just because that's what we're used to when we hear that instrument.
it was worked in quite well in a song like this. Really makes it an interesting listen. It's like two different dichotomies fighting against each other in a good way, but yeah, that one was really smooth.
Yeah, it was smooth. Probably I'm trying to think. One of my least favorite tracks, just because it was. I like the lyricism on here, but it seemed a little bare instrumentally for me personally. Right. That's my only complaint of it. But I do like this is almost like a loose concept album. It almost seems because
it really is, even though it wasn't intended that way. As we
Yeah.
talked about at the start, it's really crazy how they all kind of fit together.
because it seems like now she's kind of empowered even after whatever's gone on in her life. She notes, "You hold me up, I can't come down until I turn myself around. The sun is fading into white, all of the beauty and all of your light." And then you have the chorus kind of where it brings it all together. "But I'll kiss the dawn of a new day, and then I'll stumble on my way." Just again, that theme of finding yourself amidst the trials of this life we live in. So now we're to the final track, y'all. Another Jeff Tweedy little collaboration here. We have "Heaven Above." So yeah, let's get going, man. Closing this record off with the track "Heaven Above," a very fitting closer, I think, both musically and lyrically, just for what all the Pick Me Up Off the Floor has done up to this point, man. Jeff, again, I think brought home a nice little atmosphere with his guitar playing as well.
I agree. I think, it's a very slow pace song. Mm-hmm. Probably you think it's the slowest pace in the whole album? It's up there in contention.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. It it definitely took the time to really just kind of get down, I guess, and bare her heart.
It did. I mean, part of me was hoping, when I saw that Jeff was on the acoustic and the electric, that it might, have a little more kick to it. But it was a good song.
And again, kind of going in with that whole love theme. "I'm not lonely because I'm looking at pictures of you." She says, "I can't stand it when I forget the things that I've got, and I'm wondering why they were not in my life. No sign. I was mistaken when I thought we could have it all. We can see what we want to see before we have to fall. Ain't that the truth? We want to see our stuff how we want to see, but then when reality hits
and no
us,
one can
man,
tell us any different until reality hits us."
And then she knows, "We were dancing in the place where your heart was in love, and the pieces were in the right place, sent from heaven above." When that love hits, it feels like it's sent from God Himself.
Right.
And then just a nice sereneness at the very end with the last little instrumental here. All right, favorite track time. Favorite track. For me, I got to go. I'm going the first two, actually. "How I Weep." I thought that was a fantastic opener, along with "Flame Twin," where you had that organ in there, little synth action. And then for my third favorite track, I'm going to go with "To Live." I really enjoyed that one as well. What about you, Ted?
I got two. I got "How I Weep" with you as well on that one, and then "I'm Alive." That was
you
very consistent, though.
Yeah.
Very consistent album. I think you'd have to listen to this album, 10 times to really let these kind of marinate on you and figure out which ones your favorites are, because very similarly sounding, not in a bad way, but like it's hard to really
had
pick
that same
them out.
kind of musical theme,
Yeah,
with
so it'd take you a while to really get into it. But you got to read the lyrics, man, because all the lyrics,
yeah.
there's no mail-in songs on Norah songs. The lyrics all mean something.
All right, man. Now we'll get to our overall score of the record, Dad. I know I'm more of a Norah fan than you are.
You are.
But what'd you think
Well,
of this
here's
one?
the thing. Yeah, I'm not a huge Norah fan. about me. I don't dislike her. Her music is, if this is your type of music, she's phenomenal. No one does it better. And, you know, she's had staying power. She came on with her first solo album in 2002. This is her 7th album in 2020. And, you know, I mentioned at the start she'd sold 50 million records. Well, 27 million of those were her debut records.
That's right. Yeah. That's...
You know, she's won 9 Grammys, 5 of them were her debut, but she's managed to just continue to put out quality music. She's also a little bit of a victim on the album sales of music obviously changed. And no one sells albums anymore. But she's been able to be remarkably consistent and stay true to her type of music throughout. So I really do admire that. So for me on first listen, it's going to be a 7.75. I mean, it could even be an 8. Am I going to go back and listen to this again? You guys know if you watch this channel, I'm always honest.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with it. It's really good music. You could talk me into an 8. I mean, no one does this type of music better. The musicianship's fantastic. The lyrics are fantastic. Her vocals are great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling a strong 8 on this one myself after first listen, man. I like kind of the loose theme and the subject matter.
It's amazing how that came together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Since it wasn't the design.
That's sprinkled throughout here. So, and I mean, I put it up there on the short list of my favorite records that have come out this year. You got Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutters, Phoebe Bridgers' Punisher, you know, the ladies representing in 2020, Run the Jewels' 4th record as well. But I just thought that there was that nice, even though it did have a similar, you know, type of sound there was still some variety, some violin here, an organ here, the electric guitar. Baby. So I enjoyed what Norah had to put down here, and I'm thankful Josh brought it to us.
Yeah, I am too, man. Stretch my musical horizons, Mr. Josh.
So let us know, y'all, what you think of this record. If you listen to it down below, if you haven't, I would suggest give it a spin, man. Especially if you like Norah and this type of music, for sure. And again, Josh, appreciate it, man.
Always
appreciate always listening to these with your dad.
Definitely.
And until next time, thanks for watching. Happy listening, and we will see you.